Protests in the Kenyan capital have focused attention on a number of issues. Opposition political leaders want what they call electoral justice. It is a bit unclear what this means, as the Supreme Court certified last year's election.
Of 2022 are hereby dismissed.
Although there is a reformation of the Election Commission, which could be made more participatory and transparent. But many of the protesters are telling observers what they really want are lower food prices. Monthly inflation of food prices has hovered around 15% since July of last year. Despite expectations that a new administration would address the issue, inflation has dropped only to 13%.
The cost of living, which because of his actions, is the reason why Kenya today is hungry.
Food keeps getting more expensive here. The administration of President William Ruto says the free market needs to set prices, and his government doesn't appear ready to find solutions, despite the public appeal. Across the border in Somalia, food is almost always a concern. The current drought has brought enormous suffering, with almost 8.3 million people needing food assistance. And yet inflation, for those who can source their own food, is low in comparison to Kenya. Monthly inflation hit an all-time high of 17% July of last year, but last month fell to a little over 5%. So why are food prices getting so much higher in Kenya while increasing only slightly in Somalia? Somalia depends overwhelmingly on grain coming from Ukraine. Humanitarian efforts to arrange a corridor to get these vital foodstuffs out has proved successful. The increasingly successful fight against terrorism has also made transportation easier. Finally, the government of President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has successfully lobbied for financial assistance, particularly framing against the effects of climate change his nation suffers from. Kenya, on the other hand, had been 90% food sufficient as recently as 2021. 7 years ago, surplus grains were being destroyed to keep prices up, according to local investigative reporting. The drought has certainly had a major impact on food security in Kenya, but too much government borrowing and economic mismanagement has put a strain on the Kenyan consumer, one that is causing negative reactions that will only damage the economy further. ADN TV will continue to report on economic and food developments across Africa.